Are there more good folks in the world or bad?
More good, of course.
Then why is there always suffering?
I, the keeper of the New West, welcome the Destined One.
Black Myth Wukong looks incredible. From stunning visuals and awesome gameplay based on a popular story gets me very excited for this title. In the community, there's been a growing theory that we're playing as two separate monkeys. If you want a complete breakdown on this mystery, I already did a video on that topic. You can click the card on the top right part of your screen now, or a link at the end of the video will appear and you can click it there. But anyways, it turns out that the theory may be true and practically confirmed. Thanks to this user who left a comment on one of my videos, he let me know that multiple endings are now confirmed for the game. Now I want to be clear, even though there's a few gaming websites that all have taken this and made articles on it, the original source comes from a leaker, not an official source. But this leaker is highly credible in the gaming community, so please take it with a grain of salt, but I do want to talk about what if this person is correct. And I think that this is the final nail in the coffin to confidently say that yes, we are playing as two different versions of Wukong in the same game. In the book version of Journey to the West, Sun Wukong fought a monkey who was impersonating him. The fight involved both heaven and the underworld and eventually the almighty Buddha. However, in the game Black Myth Wukong, it seems the conflict between the two monkeys will end and both will live, each taking part in their own journey to the West. In fact, I think we've already seen how both their stories begin. You can find a cutscene of an older Wukong who sits on a stone telling us about his journey. He's talking to us, the player, about his mythological story that people are kind of confused about the history of. And he tells us that his journey starts as a cicada, which cuts to gameplay and reveals that yes, the golden cicada was in fact Wukong, who was disguised as one. The older monkey can also be seen wearing floating clothes, indicating he has obtained Buddhahood, which Wukong gets at the end of his journey to the West. So how does the other story, the other monkey story start? Well, it starts in a very similar way. In some of the promotional material, you can find this scene where another older monkey walks up to a headpiece that Wukong wears on his journey. He picks it up and blows it off, which implies he hasn't worn it in quite some time. But in a detail I missed in my last video, I noticed now. This monkey also has floating clothes. It's not noticeable at first, but if you look at the sides of the video, then follow the fabric, yes, this is floating clothes on this version of Wukong as well, indicating he has also completed his journey to the West and received Buddhahood. Now, I believe this version of the monkey is a version from the actual story Journey to the West, the traditional story. I believe this because we see the second monkey in gameplay and he's wearing this headpiece that seems to be flowing in the wind. You can see the same monkey fight the armies in heaven, which happens in the original story. So this game having multiple endings does make sense. One version of Wukong is the traditional story of Journey to the West, while the other is also making a journey to the West, but it's a completely new path that probably takes pieces from the original story. Now, evidence of this comes from an article that was recently showed off by Nvidia and the developers of Black Myth. They put a strange separation all throughout the article of Black Myth Wukong and Journey to the West, and then they mention this part here. They say Journey to the West is thought to be the introduction of Sun Wukong. In Black Myth, people speculate it's Wukong. It's a really weird statement to make if we're being honest, but this statement only makes sense if there's two versions of Sun Wukong and, you know, this other version, this imposter of him. So how do I personally feel about this? I think that this is amazing for people who want to experience this legendary story, right? You get the traditional path that a lot of people, myself included, want to see, but then you have this optional path, and they're both gonna have different endings, and I think that's awesome. I am so curious to see how this will play out, but please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. There's no point in me making these theory videos if I can't interact with you all. Your opinion matters here on this channel, and with that being said, I'm gonna be out of here. Thank you guys and girls for listening. Deuces.